Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So today I have to go on a little 100-mile road trip, and this is going to be specifically a gas mileage review of the Grand Cherokee. So I have to go down. The trip down is going to be just driving down the interstate, about 10 miles of county roads here, and then about 40 miles of interstate. So we're going down to pick up my Sport Nautique. It's about 5,000 pounds. And then on the way back, we're going to get that towing mileage as well. So we're going to be towing that back here to my shop. And I want to see what the total MPGs are. The MPGs going down, and then the MPGs going back up home here. So what we're dealing with here, 372 final drive for the axle, and over 500 horsepower. I think this one's got about 510, 515 on it, and just a hair over 5,000 miles. So we are going to go down. Of course, I already did a towing review on this, but I just want to get the MPGs here and give you my thoughts on that. So without further ado, we're going to hop in. As you can see, 5,020 miles. Press our red start button, start it up. And we do have low tire pressure because it is cold out, although this was sitting in the shop, so I'm not sure why we're dealing with that right now. So we're going to take this, reset trip A, and reset the fuel economy, and we are going to be on our way. So we'll just take it back to the speedometer function here, and then we're going to get on our way down to Eau Claire. I'm probably going to film this a little bit more with the trailer on the back to give you my thoughts on that as well. And we're on our way down. We merged onto the highway so far, so we've gone about 13 miles, and we're getting actually 16.8 MPGs, which is impressive for this large vehicle with over 500 horsepower. I'm very impressed with this, and now we have the cruise set to 77, so I'm guessing we'll probably end up around 17 miles per gallon here once we reach our destination. Of course, that will go down, once we hook the boat on the back. But the Jeep is doing really well. I've got my adaptive cruise control on, and the ride is in comfort right now. So I have to say, I'm impressed. This is just such a nice riding vehicle. The one thing I would change on it is the MDS, so the cylinder deactivation system. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all, and that is something I would change. But this Jeep is a highway cruiser and bruiser, and we are on the trip. There's something about cruising on an open northern Wisconsin highway, interstate, US 53, that just, in a Jeep SRT, that really adds to the experience of cruising this highway. I've taken this many, many, many times in my life, but just cruising on a Jeep all the way down to Eau Claire is something that is pretty rewarding, that I was able to purchase this vehicle and now own it and, drive it and have some fun with it. It's gorgeous out today. It's the middle of October. It doesn't get any better than this. The leaves have basically fully turned. Some trees are still waiting, but overall, this is just a boatload of fun. I love driving. I love driving the Jeep most of all, and I love doing these little reviews and tests for you all. This is really surprising to me because we've averaged over 17 miles per gallon right now on our trip, and we have put on 24.8 miles, so we got about another 15-ish miles, 20 miles to go till we get to the boat place where I need to pick up my boat. And yeah, 17 miles a gallon. I hit that a lot quicker than I thought I would. This truck has so much power, remember, that I feel that the cylinder deactivation works way better in this than it did in my Ram truck, because this, while it weighs about the same, you're dealing with over 100 more horsepower. So I think that has a lot to do with it. It's a little bit more aerodynamic as well. And we are going just a little bit downhill as well. I think elevation from home down to Eau Claire is about a 200-foot change. We have a couple more miles to go until we've reached our destination. We're just coming up to our exit here, and we've actually averaged 17.6 miles to the gallon on the way down on this 43.3. So it'll be about a 45-mile trip, and 40 minutes, 17.6. Not bad. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with that. And we're coming up to an off-ramp with the Jeep. We could have a little fun taking the corner, but we've got a slow Subaru in front of us. But overall, very impressed. 17.7 now miles per gallon until we've reached our destination, which is only a couple miles away. All right, we've got the boat hooked on the back, and now we reset the mileage, and we should have roughly 45.1 miles back home. And my new hitch for this couldn't have come any sooner. I'm missing it today, and I wish I had it. But right now we've just got it in tow haul mode, and we reset the mileage for this section of mileage we're gonna do, and then we'll see what the overall is on the way back. So I have to say, the most fun part about driving the SRT Jeep is the fact that you get to merge on the highway with over 500 horsepower. So we've got this boat hooked on the back. I should have been more, I should have told you guys how much it weighed, if I can even speak over the sound of this engine. But what we're dealing with right now is about 5,000-ish pounds, somewhere right around there. So the hitch I'm using is just a Curt 2-inch drop hitch right now. I wish it was something a little bit better. I did order a Way-Safe hitch, but it just hasn't come in yet. And my hope was that it would be in for this towing, because I don't feel very comfortable towing with the Curt hitch right now. I wish I had my Way-Safe, but I don't. And for that reason, you may hear some clinking and some clanking going on. And that's just the hand we're dealt with right now. But as we merge onto the highway here, we've got tow mode engaged. It actually stiffens the suspension a little bit more, so it's not as floaty, and it splits power evenly between front and rear 50-50. So it provides a stiffer ride. It's more like a body on frame than a unibody. This is a unibody design here, but it's more of a body on frame style of driving, more truck-like or large SUV-like with this Jeep, with this SRT. So now, as we downshift a little bit here, oh my gosh, the power right now is nothing to play with. I mean, there's ample power. There's ample power. The only thing that really
text message from 82,907.
I can't figure out how to turn the text message thing off. So back to the point here. The only thing that would really, give this more power is a supercharger, much like a Trackhawk or a Durango, something like that, like a Hellcat. But really, over 500 horsepower is more than enough for me to tow with anyway. I mean, this is more than what my Ram truck had, and I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy towing with it. You could definitely feel there's weight behind you, but it's not really much different than my truck, than my Ram truck. I'm impressed with it. I like it. I'm looking behind me right now, and I see my back deck kind of wallowing right now in the wind, but I think have some road construction coming up, and that's why I'm a little bit worried, because I don't want that back deck to fly off. So right now, we're getting 8.2 miles to the gallon. Of course, I did have a little bit of an acceleration pull in there as well, but overall, I mean, it is what it is. I can't remember if I got 10 miles to the gallon pulling this with my truck on the way home when I bought the boat. I can't remember or not, but it's going to be right around there. Honestly, this engine shouldn't work quite as hard because it has so much more horsepower, so the towing should be pretty much the same as what my Ram truck was. I am gonna have to get gas again though. This fuel tank, it costs like $100 to fill up right now. Gas is just under $4 a gallon for premium, and this does take premium, so it tends to cost a little bit more to fill up than the truck ever did. But that's just kind of what you get with premium gas and a performance SUV like this. So right now I'm not going to be going too much faster. I do want to pass the semi though, so I am going to have to put the pedal down a little bit to pass the semi before road construction. I don't like following semis or larger trucks when we're in road construction on a one-lane road. Right now we're of course on a two-lane road, but I don't like on a one-lane road, following a semi, because they could swerve and accidents could happen, whatever. But right now I've just got the cruise set to 74. That's probably what we'll do on the way back home, and we should be good there. But I am going to keep my eyes on the road here and get back to this road construction, so we'll rejoin when we are just getting to the end of the gas mileage review and towing review here. So we are almost to the end of the highway portion of driving here, and I'm going to be pretty surprised, I think, at what the MPGs are in tow mode. So we're scrolling through right now. We've averaged 10.3 miles per gallon on the way back, so not bad. Of course, that number is actually going to continue to go up as we get onto the back country roads here. So I really, besides that shift there, I really haven't had to get this out of 8th gear when I've been towing, which is phenomenal, because the torque at about 2,000 RPMs is so high. You're almost dealing with 460 probably pound-feet of torque at 20-ish, 2,100, 2,000, 2,050 RPMs. So it's pretty good. Overall on the trip, we've gone 78.6 miles so far, an average 13.2 miles per gallon. We've been driving for about an hour and 23 minutes, so not bad. On the way back, I did go 74. I set the cruise to 74, so that would help essentially, with towing, because I have a rear deck that looks like it might be loose, or just in the wind it doesn't do well. So, and B, that would help with fuel economy a little bit. So we're just getting ready to merge off the highway here and get onto the country roads. And actually my Jeep just crossed over on 5,100 miles, so that's pretty exciting there. But I have to say, I love this in tow mode. I really do. The transmission acts fine. What you would expect out of a ZF source transmission. Very similar to any of my other Ram trucks, except maybe a little bit more performance based right now. And just on that little incline, we've averaged now 10.3 miles per gallon on the trip, but pretty much exactly what I would get with my Ram truck if I had that. Now, I would expect it, I thought it was going to be lower, to tell you the honest truth, because of the fact that, you're dealing with a lot more horsepower, and this is only rated for 7,200 pounds compared to the Ram truck's almost 11,000 pounds. Oh, there we go. Get that Hemi working for us. Get that Hemi working for us. It just shifts so smoothly, and it accelerates so smoothly. You get a little bit, compared to my Ram truck, you get more of a deeper rumble with this than you do out of the 5.7 liter, at least, compared comparatively. And I have to say, I really like that. I really like towing with this Jeep. You know, towing compared to the truck, there is more forgiveness with the truck, that is for sure. You know, any large truck like that is going to have forgiveness, but you put a 5,200 pound, you know, vehicle in front of a 5,000 pound boat, whether it's a truck or a vehicle, and right now there's probably weighs closer to 5,600 with the wet weight and myself in it, and it's impressive. This is impressive. Now, yeah, there's you have way less forgiveness. Well, I shouldn't say way. You have a little less forgiveness in this than you do with the Ram truck. But overall, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the whole towing situation right now, and I really haven't missed a beat. The only thing I have missed is, you know, being able to put miles on the truck, and I have to keep the miles low on this. But it is what it is. 10.3 miles per gallon. I'm going to set the cruise at 60 right now, going on these county roads here, and we'll see what we get on the way back. But right now, it settles. This is the one thing I love about this, how it's tuned in tow mode. In the Ram truck right now, we would be in 6th or 7th gear all the time, even on the way back. Right now, we're in 8th gear going 60 miles an hour at about 750 RPMs, and we're going up an incline, and it just shifted right now because this has so much low-end torque, even more so than the Ram truck did. It's more aerodynamic. It's able to tow in a lower gear, or I should say in a higher gear, more often than my Ram truck did. It's so sturdy to a point where I'm almost falling asleep behind the wheel. I'm not really, but this is impressive. This is impressive. I would tow with this again. I'm curious to see how it's going to be like in the winter time, and ultimately that comes down to the tires. You know, these are summer performance or supposedly all season performance tires. But even cornering here, because it's in towing mode, it's such a flat turn that you're not banking into the corners every which way like I would be with my Ram truck, for example. It's just very flat, and I feel very in control and very safe as we have some bumps here. Nice. That's fun to do. But yeah, it just settles back down into 8th gear, and you notice that there's weight behind you, but it's not as severe as my girlfriend's GLE AMG with the same towing package. And I have to say, this is impressive to say the least. I've enjoyed towing with it. Very comfortable. The sound system is great. Of course, the seats are awesome because they're SRT seats. SRT seats are some of the best in the business, I have to say. I've sat in a lot of seats, a lot of nice Mercedes seats, BMWs, and SRT seats are just some of the best in the business. But overall, we've averaged 10.4 now miles per gallon, and over the trip, it's 13.1 miles per gallon at 84.2 miles. So we have about 10 minutes left of driving, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes left of driving here, and we'll revisit when we get to the end of this review. Okay, we have ended the trip with 86 miles left of range. We've averaged 10.7 or 10.5 miles per gallon on the way back from Eau Claire, which is about 45 miles. Overall, we averaged 13 miles per gallon, which honestly is a lot better than what I was thinking it was going to be. So the Jeep did valiantly here with the boat, and not a lot of squat here, but I am really looking forward to seeing my WaySafe hitch come in, so I don't have to use that achy Kurt hitch anymore. But overall, very impressed with the Jeep at how it handled again. And you know, I have to say, this is a great option for towing it, and the MPGs were not nearly as bad as I thought. And you could see how large that boat is. I mean, that thing is freaking huge. So overall, I have to say, again, very impressed. Helps so much that we have massive Brembos on here, which you can see did get used fairly a lot because of the amount of brake dust on there. But we're going to give this a nice little wipe down here, get it back in the garage, get the boat cleaned up, and then we'll be well on our way to winter storage. But guys, very impressed yet again with the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT.